Yeah, we were just having lunch together, and one of the things we were kind of talking about is just kind of when you live in Taiwan, you tend to see some weird and wacky stuff that you would never really see back home at all. So I suppose since I made everybody else say what they thought was a little bit weird or interesting or strange or wacky about Taiwan, I should probably give one myself. So for me, I learned when I got over here that you're not supposed to write people's name in red ink. It's a bad omen. You know, you're pretty much putting almost a death curse on somebody if you write their name in red ink. So as an English teacher, I've actually discovered that that's a very helpful tool. So if any of my students are being like particularly naughty, I'm not gonna do this every day. Once in a blue moon, if one of my students is really pushing my buttons, I will literally take out my red marker and start writing their name very slowly in red ink on the whiteboard. And let me tell you, they instantly stop being naughty in my class. They take that extremely seriously. So if you're a teacher in Taiwan, that could be a good trick for trying to keep those, as I said, particularly naughty students under control.
Well, I was thinking, because you and I are from the same kind of area, but we went to the same college. And you know, usually we like to kick back and watch the game. And you know, if I'm coming to his place to watch the game, I'll buy a 2 for a beer.
Of course.
Is that Canadian?
I've never heard anybody else say that.
You know, we sit down and watch the game. It's like not a gift, but I'm going to his house. We're watching at his place. He's inviting me over. You bring a case of beer, and you're like a good gesture. But here in Taiwan, one of the most popular things to do as gifts is fruit. Like individually wrapped apples or mangoes or something. It's like this really nice gift, but for us that's kind of weird.
Each one's in like a styrofoam individual
it's got
wrapper.
That little wrap thing, but for us that's not a gift. Like do it, try it. If you're watching from the West, just give someone a box of fruit and see if they're super pleased about it.
Thanks for having me over, man. Here's 5 apples.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit down and watch the game with you, and I bring over like a box of nice giant individually wrapped apples or giant red Taiwanese mangoes or something.
Dude, where's the beer, man?
Exactly. It's wacky, but you don't think it's wacky because here it's so normal, but when you really think about it, it is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So another weird thing is they can't swim. As you might know, Taiwan's an island. They're surrounded by water, and a lot of people can't swim. I'm not saying all people can't swim. A lot of people can. I've seen some really good surfers and stuff like that, but I keep meeting people. Angel, can you swim?
No.
Can't fucking swim. And they're surrounded by water. And one thing I heard, same thing with Chinese people as well, mainland China. Nobody can swim up there. They're terrified because they're taught that the water... Alan, stop talking. But yeah, so one thing they're taught is like it's just dangerous. They'll just drown immediately if they try and go into the water. But then if they don't learn how to swim, like of course they're gonna drown.
I've actually started to go to the swimming pool, and it's always quite busy in Kaohsiung.
Yeah.
But in July, they believe that the spirits come down and cleanse all the water.
Yeah.
So apparently in July, all the swimming pools are just completely empty.
And then you're just in there like
exactly.
dancing with the devil. You may speak now.
Thanks. So Lucas, today I was kind of asking everybody, I mean, we're all from different countries, but we're all from countries in the kind of Western world. And coming to Taiwan is obviously much different. They do many things that we have never necessarily seen back home.
Many things.
Many things.
Many things.
From your perspective, what are some of the weirdest or wackiest things that you've noticed while living in Taiwan?
Like, I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm not really sure what everyone else has said here, but one of the things that just comes in mind right now is that the first time I visited a Taiwanese home, when I feel like that's when you actually get to know like the Taiwanese people and how they actually are. It's very hard to see like the Taiwanese life if you just meet them on the street and like on a night market. But once you go into someone's home, I don't know how common this is, but I've been to multiple homes where they have a super nice sofa. Super nice. I'm sure it's like super expensive, like it's leather or it's like some kind of fancy fabric. At least that's what I think, because it's always covered in plastic. So they have like plastic wrapped sofas, which doesn't make any sense, like at all.
So the whole sofa is wrapped in plastic?
The whole sofa is like wrapped in plastic, or like at least like the cushions.
They sit on the plastic?
Like you sit on the plastic. You have like the super nice expensive sofa, and then you have the plastic because you don't want to ruin the super nice expensive sofa that you just bought, and then you sit on that. which just like you sit on it and it's like
and it gets hot and sticky.
It gets hot and sticky.
Sticks to your skin.
And it's just like I does not make any sense. So I'm thinking like when I come home, I love to just sit down on my sofa, watch some like Netflix.
Your non-plastic covered sofa?
In my non-plastic covered sofa. But if I would eat all that weird stuff with like, I don't know, what catfish head, and we had like all these like runny, gooey, QQ stuff, and it's like all like mushed together and like with chopsticks, and it's like rice everywhere. So it makes sense to have your plastic sofa. So maybe they're just thinking ahead, but still, you shouldn't buy that expensive sofa that you cannot use.
Okay.
I think that's wacky.
Thanks, bud.
Awesome.
What have you noticed about Taiwan that is maybe particularly weird, a little bit wacky, or certainly different than we're used to seeing from back home?
I think one thing that I was quite surprising is like how superstitious people are in general. I can think of 3 weird things that I made wrong. One is the chopsticks. You cannot stick them into like your food or your rice.
Right.
And for a foreigner, it's super convenient because you want to do something, you just stick them and do something, and it's like you can catch them later, but it's like a no. It's like super bad.
And I heard it's because it looks like the incense that they use at funerals.
Yes. Another super surprising thing about superstition is like you cannot point at the moon.
Oh.
And like, you know, sometimes this full moon you want to just say like, oh, look at the moon. No, you cannot do that. And apparently if you do that, the moon is gonna go and cut your ear.
What?
Like what?
Okay, that's new.
Yeah, I heard that before you go into a hotel room, you have to knock at the door. If there is a ghost, you have to tell them first that you are gonna come in. So people do that before going in the hotel room, like first knock at the door. A couple of times the employee that was leading us to the room went to the room, and before opening and letting us in, they knocked at the door.
Huh.
And I was like very surprised also.
I wonder why the ghosts want to stay in the hotels.
Yeah.
I guess they're pretty nice rooms sometimes, eh?
Yeah.
If I was a ghost, I might want to stay in a hotel.
Because in France, people are not superstitious at all.
Not at all?
Like, I mean, you know, Friday the 13th might be
the most
special day where people are afraid of either good luck or bad luck. It depends on whatever you think. Black cat maybe, but it's more like nobody really believes that. It's more like people like to mention it
for fun or something.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Cheers. Hey, Alan.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
Okay.
So I've been asking everybody today while we're filming your wacky video.
Pretty wacky.
Since you've been in Taiwan, you've seen some weird or wacky things.
Yep.
So I was wondering if you had any comments.
Okay, well let's think about it. I mean, if you want me to talk about things I've seen with my own eyes, maybe nothing too wacky, but there is like a Facebook group called Meanwhile in Taiwan. Have you seen? I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a famous photo from Taiwan, but it's a guy riding a bike.
The naked guy?
Yeah, I know. It's not something I've seen with my own eyes, but it's absolutely brilliant, and like it's kind of world famous, and like people from around the world have seen it, and of course it's obviously just some guy with a different mindset to the rest of us. So that's something I've seen online.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get your clothes wet.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah, your skin is waterproof.
It makes sense.
Yeah, for me it makes total sense. One thing I will say, which is not wacky, I wouldn't want to associate it with being wacky, but something that we definitely don't do back in the West, is about funerals. And at a funeral, they give money to the family. You give a white envelope to the family, and I'm not too sure if they don't give flowers. I think maybe I'm wrong about that, but you will see these funeral tents outside their house, but also you'll give like a white envelope, and it's important that the number inside is like something like 700 or 1100. You can't give 800. That's for Chinese New Year. So not so much wacky, but definitely something a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
If someone showed up to my granddad's funeral with an envelope full of money, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing, you know? So yeah, in the West we tend to just send flowers or make a donation. Actually, yes, that's true. We make a donation to their charity maybe. So in Taiwan it's a little bit different.
And write a nice card.
Yeah, write a card of condolences and stuff. So there's definitely a couple of differences, but if I think of any more, I'll be back later. But that's pretty much all I've got on that topic for now.
All right, thanks, Alan. What are you doing? Oh, jeez. Thank you very much everybody for watching my video. That will be it for this one. I will be releasing another video following Alan's big extravaganza Guinness World Record breaking activities that we did. Again, thank you so much everybody for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. I promise I will start uploading much more regularly than I have been. Bye guys.